Hey guys, it's about beer 30. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Today's beer comes from BrewDog Brewing. These guys are out of Scotland, I think. Scotland, United Kingdom. BrewDog.com. These guys make some very tasty beers. They make some damn expensive beers. They make some huge monster beers. I mean, Tactical Penguin. I mean, some of the biggest ABV beers on the planet, and a lot of the breweries strive to achieve making the biggest ABV beer possible. And then you're just drinking straight grain alcohol as far as I'm concerned. They don't have a lot of taste. They have huge alcohol notes. If you want to buy a $20 bottle, a 12 ounce or 11.2 ounce bottle, and drink it just to say I've had 35–50% ABV beer. There's some people that make it, and these guys do that. And how they do that is they make the beer. It's a big beer. It's a huge beer. Then they freeze it, and then they take the ice off of it, and then they freeze it again, and they take the ice off of it. So they're getting rid of the water part of it. So all you have left is just straight alcohol. I don't find those beers very enjoyable. Even the Utopias that I have on the shelf up here, those are sippers, guys. It's not something you want to drink every day. It's not something you want to drink a lot of, because it's so huge, and all you're getting a lot of times is just alcohol. It's just straight up alcohol. So those beers don't, I want to say they don't impress me, but just to be brewing beer, just to be brewing the biggest ABV beer, it doesn't impress me at all. So, guys, I did this beer a couple of years ago. I bought one of them. It was like $13 for this bottle. This one was sent to me by my brother Rico. It's been a couple of years since I bought that beer and did it, and he sent me this one, and I've had it for a little while. I went back and tried to find his notes, because he always sends me notes on the beer, and I couldn't find it. So I don't really know how long I've had it since he sent it to me. So, looking at the bottle, it says here it is a 10%er, according to what I'm seeing, and on the back label it says here best before 2011-18. So to me that tells me best before November 18th of 2020, and this is just 2017. So I don't know what kind of shelf life they're giving this beer. It's a 10%er, so it's going to keep for quite a while. So I don't know if this is a 2015, 2016, 2017 edition. I don't know exactly when Rico sent it to me, but we still got 3 years of shelf life left on it. So just thought I'd go ahead and do this one for the final beer of the evening tonight for 10%, and this is not a cheap beer to buy. Like I said, I paid $13 for the first one I bought around here a couple years ago. So they're not cheap beers to buy from these guys. But you got to realize it's a 10%. It comes from Scotland, so you got transportation costs on that. But you know, it is a pricey beer for a 10%. And I'm gonna be straight up honest with you guys. When I reviewed this back in 2015, I think it was a couple of years ago, and y'all can type that in and find out when I did it. I thought it was pretty tasty. I gave it an 8 then, because I went back and looked just to see how long it'd been since I'd done it, and I thought it was a very tasty beer. But I did make the notes and the references that it was a $13 bottle for 11.2 ounces. So if you got deep pockets, you want to try it, by all means. I think it's a little on the pricey side. So I do appreciate Rico spending his hard-earned money and sending me another bottle to do. And so we're going to do this edition. I'm going to call it the 2017 edition, but I'm not sure if this beer was brewed in 2017. So, because they don't have that on there. They have a best buy, used by, whatever buy, and not a bottle on date. Let us decide when we want to have it by. Put a freaking bottle date on it. Just my opinion. Alright, let's go over to Untappd. And Untappd says 10%, 85 IBUs, and their commercial description says, "Welcome to the world of Cocoa Psycho, a liquid dimension where pure indulgence reigns." And it says show more, but it's not highlighted. There we go. Oh, Lord. Oh, it's got a full thing. I'm not going to read all this, guys. Malts are extra pale wheat, cara, smoked black and roasted barley, hops of Cascade, Fuggles, and Goldings. Which, other than the Cascade, Fuggles, and Goldings are more like European style hops. So, and they're in the UK. So, I mean, that's probably the hops that are available there. Cascade, I grow here. Cascade is a nice hop. So, let's see what it brings to the table here, guys. I don't think there's anything else we can talk about. We got the ABV, we got the IBUs, and we got the best before date. That's as close as we're going to get. So let's pop the top on this, get it into the glass. Like I said, this is the final beer of the evening for me. Little bit of hiss, not much, no smoke. Into the glass we go. I think I'm going to pour this down the center, guys. Food pairing is general, chocolate, dessert, digestive. Glassware to pint, becker, nonic, tumbler, snifter. I got my favorite snifter. It says here can be settled for a long period of time. I'm pouring this straight down the center from the get-go, guys, and it's not going to produce very much head. And like I said, it's only 11.2 ounces. Another reason why I think it's kind of pricey. It's not a 12 ounce or anything. So, about a, I don't know, an eighth of a finger of head on that. It is pitch black, a very dark colored head on this. There is absolutely no light. This is a Russian Imperial Stout, though. To the nose we go. Rich roasted malt to the burnt characteristics almost. Black molasses. Maybe some licorice in there. Hints of bittersweet chocolate. Probably some dark fruit in there once it comes up to room temperature. The strong black patent malts stand out to me. They probably didn't use that, but that's what it smells like to me. Super dark malts. And hints of alcohol, 10%. I mean, I've had beers at 8% that had more alcohol than this, but I do detect a little bit of booziness. Smells decent. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Rico. Very nice sweetness to it. But it's very, very enjoyable. And the more it sits open like this, the alcohol will probably dissipate. It won't be quite as boozy when we come for the final chug. I'm pleasantly surprised at the sweetness on the back end that I'm getting right now. Nice hints of chocolate. That's a well-made beer, guys. It is. There's no argument as far as I'm concerned that it is a well-made beer. It's very tasty. A great final beer of the evening. And I'm not even detecting as much alcohol as I did on the first sip. Like I said, as it sets and opens up and comes up to room temperature, which I'm going to do, it'll probably have less and less alcohol taste, besides drinking on it and getting more acclimated to the alcohol that is in it. So when I come back for the final chug, I probably won't even be detecting any of the alcohol or the booziness. We'll see. So, well, let's let it warm up. I got a cigar waiting for me out on the deck. I'm going to hit that while I'm sipping on this and let it come up to room temperature. And let's see where it ends up. See if I'm as impressed as I was with it a couple of years ago. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left here. It's a very tasty beer, guys. It's a very well made beer. It's got a very nice sweetness to the back end. Unlike like Old Rasputin has more of a bitter back end, not quite as sweet as this is. And it's a 9%er, where this is a 10%er. Not a lot of difference there. But I can buy 4 Old Rasputins for less. And they're 12 ounces. So 12, 24, 36, 48. I'm buying 48 ounces of Old Rasputin for less than 11.2 ounces of this costs. Even though it's a little bit sweeter and a little tastier to drink, you're paying a premium price for this beer. That would be my only negative, other than the dating Best Buy. It is a very enjoyable beer. It's got a very nice sweetness to it. It's very, very pleasant to drink. And like I told you earlier, now that I've been sipping on it for a while, the alcohol has subsided. I'm not getting that booziness at all. It's a very well done beer. It is. And I don't know what this costs in Scotland. Probably not as much as it costs here in the States. But buying it here in the States, once the transportation cost is added to it, and the beer store that you're buying it from makes their little profit on it. Like I said, I paid $13 for this when I did it 2 years ago. I don't know what Rico paid for this one. I couldn't find his notes when I looked. But if you're paying that much for a 10% Russian Imperial Stout, that is kind of pricey to me. When you can buy something pretty close to what this costs and get 4 times the amount. So that's my biggest deterrent on buying something like this. But it is a little tastier than the Old Rasputin, I will say that. It's a very enjoyable beer. It's a special occasion beer to me if you're going to pay that much for it. And you're only getting 11.2 fluid ounces, so it's not a big bottle where you can share it around a lot. So kind of pricey for what you're getting, but a very tasty beer nonetheless. Final chug. Very nice aroma, very nice sweetness to it. That's my biggest thing to say about this. It is a little easier drinking. It's a little sweeter than what the Old Rasputin is. So, final chug. Very well done. Absolutely very well done. Just pricey here in the States, guys, like I said. If you're in Scotland, I'm sure this beer is a little cheaper to buy and drink. They probably got it on tap in a lot of places there. So, that's my only deterrent from this beer. It's a little too pricey for my taste. I don't want to pay $13 for 11.2 ounces when I can buy 4 times this amount of an Old Rasputin and get pretty close to the same thing, other than a little bit more sweetness this one has that one doesn't. And enjoy it on 4 different days instead of all at one time. So, with that being said, it is a very nice beer, guys. Just pricey. To me, I do think it's an A beer because it's so well made, but the priciness keeps me from giving it the big numbers, and them putting a enjoy by or best by date on it adds to the little fuel to that same fire. So B plus for me, guys, on this one. I would give this an 89. Over to Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate says 3.99. That is their B plus range also, kicking the door down on 4.0, which is the A minus scale. And like I said, if you say, "Oh my God, you're crazy," that's an A beer. It's an A plus beer. I'm not going to argue with that. It's just a little pricey here for this guys in the United States to buy it, and it may be the beer store too. I don't know what the markup is there. You may be able to get it cheaper here in the United States somewhere. I don't know. And over to Untapped. Untapped has it at 3.96 B plus range, to almost to the A category also. So it's unanimous here. It's B plus from everybody. Beer Advocate, Untapped, and me. And then the biggest part of that is the price of the beer, and not having a bottle on date or a vintage date. So if you've had this one, the Cocoa Psycho from BrewDog, let me know what you think. It is a tasty beer, guys. Don't get me wrong. It is a tasty beer. But a little pricey for us guys here in the States to buy. But it is it'll be a very nice special occasion beer to enjoy. So, if you had it, let me know what you think. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.